What's up, you wrestling fanatics and friends? You're listening to the True Wrestling Podcast, episode 69. Thanks for tuning in. I recently talked with Oklahoma State All-American Travis Whitlake. Travis and Oklahoma State were not odds-on favorites to All-American or take home a team trophy, but they both did. You can look for Travis to get back in action in May at the U23s. I'd like to thank my sponsor, Adidas Wrestling. You can check them out at adidaswrestling.com. You can follow me on Rockfin at True Wrestling or on Twitter at TrueWrestler1. You can also follow Oklahoma State at Cowboy Wrestling. Without further ado, here's our conversation. Here with Travis Whitlake, All-American, took fourth last week at the NCAA Championships. Travis, thanks for taking the time to talk to me today.
Thank you.
Hey, it's been about a week since NCAA Championships. All-American, what were your thoughts and feelings about the entire tournament? Last year's was canceled, so it's your first one, right?
Yeah, it was my first tournament, first NCAA tournament, and it was a dream come true. It was awesome to be able to wrestle there. I actually went to the NCAA tournament a couple times throughout high school, and so it was cool to be there and be on the mat rather than in the stands. And that was definitely, to be at that tournament was a dream of mine growing up, and it was something that I got to do finally. Goal achieved, but obviously I want to win it one day too.
Gotcha. So you come in as the 10th seed. And you win your first match. You end up losing to Ethan Smith, Ohio State. You end up facing him in the wrestleback. So tell me a little bit about winning your first match, going on to your second match. Like, what's your mindset going into the tournament?
I was confident. I ended up losing the week before. I lost in overtime the week before Big 12s, and I ended up coming back and getting third. So, I faced that adversity the weekend before, and I had to wrestle back on the backside and chase for third. And so, my mindset going into the series was confident. I was fine. Everything was going well. And then when I did end up losing, I knew what I had to do. I had to chase for third. So, it was, and that backside was a long road, and it was full of tough kids, so that was, it was I think it was good for me to just wrestle more freely on the backside. I'd already lost, so I didn't win the tournament. So now it's time to go out and let it hang loose. And so the backside was fun, and it was a grind. And but no, like I said, I was confident going in for sure.
Well, you bring up two things. So the loss of Big 12s, you're saying that didn't affect your confidence at all coming into the tournament?
I'm just saying the loss of Big 12s basically. I was able to. So when I lost at NCAAs, I knew from my experience at Big 12 what I had to do. So I knew that the tournament wasn't over; it wasn't the end of the world. And when you lose in a tournament like that, you got to chase the next best thing, which was third. So
gotcha.
I just was saying that I had faced that adversity before, and I was ready for it again.
Gotcha. 6 matches on the backside, so eight total matches. Like the short season, did you wrestle anywhere near that amount of matches in practice to give you that feel?
In practice, for sure. We actually went, I think, about a week before we left for NCAAs. We went 38 minutes live in the practice room. That was one of our practice. So, but you can't mimic an NCAA tournament, really, in a practice room. There's nothing like it. And it was three days of, like you said, 8 matches, and 8 hard matches, really hard matches. Every match I had was a battle, was a war. And so, it's hard to mimic that, but it was good. I stuck in it.
So when you come over to the backside, you end up, right, beating Mackay, which was a medical forfeit. And you go back after that and you face Ethan Smith from Ohio State. Were there any different emotions when you faced him the second time or mindset?
Uh,
Hey, wrestling friends, if you want to hear the remainder of the Travis Whitlake interview, go to rockfin.com, ROKFIN.com /true wrestling, and go to the interview folder. Thanks.